Hello there. I am just here to get you ready for Friday when I'm not going to be here. So, in the last video, we talked about how to do the Nearpod student paste. In this video, I want you to do um, the CER. And so, I'm going to introduce the CER to you and make sure that you are ready to do that. So open up the week 6 folder and then open up the LT3 CER, Predator Prey. So you got that done? All right, good. Now, looks like some people already did it. Wow. So here's what I want you to do first. I want you to open up the CER Introduction PDF in Kami. So now what you can see is that this is actually just sort of like an introduction that will explain to you what a CER is. A CER is a claim, an evidence, and a reasoning. And basically what that becomes when you write these three things is an explanatory paragraph. You can also use it as an argumentative paragraph as well. But today we're going to do an explanatory paragraph. You are going to explain what happened in our Oh Dear game, and you're going to explain, you're going to actually say what we did, and then you're going to explain why it's important for ecosystems. Okay, so the first thing you're going to write is a claim. A claim is your position on an issue or problem, so it answers the question. So if there's a question that's presented to you, then here's where you're going to answer it. This should be 1 or 2 sentences at the most. It should not be a very long thing, and you should not explain anything in here. You shouldn't put evidence in anything. This is like your topic sentence. It's just the one sentence you write to say, this is my answer to the question. And this should always be a full answer. It should include kind of what the question is asking. So don't just put like a vague sentence. You got to write it as if someone never even saw the question. Okay? So you always got to think about your reader. When you're writing, you think about your reader. Will my reader understand this if this is the way I wrote it? That's really the question you should always be asking yourself. So once you write your claim, then you're going to write your evidence. Your evidence is, how do I know that? I just wrote this claim. How can I prove that my claim is true? So you're going to put evidence of some kind. What did we do in the experiment, the Oh Dear game, and what did we learn from that? So it's always about, what did I do and what did I see? Okay? Really, if you say those two things and that's all you have to say, what did I do? I did in the Oh Dear game, we did this, this, and this. And then what did we find out? With deer, there with no wolves, this is what happened. With wolves, this is what happened. You don't want to put any explanation in here. You don't want to start trying to rationalize your evidence or anything like that. You're just saying, this is what we did, and this is what I saw, or this is what we learned. Now, in the reasoning, this is where you're going to write your explanation. This is where you're going to say, why does this evidence support the claim? What do I know about this topic? And I can start talking about predator-prey relationships and ecosystems, and how without the wolves, which are a keystone species, and blah, 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 blah. So you want to really start bringing in all your knowledge about why you said what you said here, and then what evidence you gave. So you're going to be very specific about that. Down here is a really good example of a good CER. So apparently the question was, does ice melt faster in the sun, or does it melt faster in the shade? And so the students design an experiment to figure that out. And here's their claim evidence reasoning. It says ice melts faster in the sun than it does in the shade. And that's all they said in their claim, and that's enough. In their evidence, they said they said what did they do and what did they find out. We placed 2 ice cubes of the same size in an identical plastic dishes. We placed one dish on a wooden bench in the sun, and we placed the other part of the same bench in the shade. The ice cube in the sun melted 14 minutes and 32 seconds. The ice cube in the shade melted in 18 minutes and 15 seconds. So they said, what did we do and what did we find out? That's all you have to do in the evidence. And then in the reasoning, they said, we designed the investigation so that the only variable in the setup was whether the ice cubes were in the shade or in the sun. Because the ice cubes in the sun melted almost 4 minutes faster, this is sufficient evidence to support the claim that ice melts faster in the sun than it does in the shade. So it's just explaining why their evidence supported their first original claim. Okay, and that's really all it is. Now, when you write your CER, I would like for you to go through this checklist and check off all the things, read your claim and say, and then really check and see, be really honest about it. Does your sentence answer the question of the problem? Is it an inference based on data or observation, etc.? So same thing for the evidence and same thing for the reasoning. Read your CER a couple of times. First go to the claim, then go to the evidence, and go to the reasoning. These 3 parts should be sort of together as a whole, but also they should be easy to identify as individual parts. All right, so that's it about the practice one. Now the next video you're gonna watch is about the actual predator prey CER. All right, good luck.